there. My name is April, and I will be touching base on some good practices for communication within the family. In chapter 7, which was called Communication and Relationships, it defines family of origin as relatives connected by blood or legal bonds, which that could be like adoption or marriage, that kind of thing. I'm going to go a little bit in a step further and actually focus on how to communicate effectively with your children. And this can actually be used the other way. Younger adults can use this to communicate with their family members as well. As we should all know, communication is truly a vital aspect with any situation. Children do not come with an instruction manual, and it can be trying at times, many times. So in my house, it is ran in a more consensual family foundation, meaning we have open communication and it is encouraged. However, there is a hierarchy that is still maintained. Parents are above children, but only in the sense that I have the final say. Otherwise, my children come first, no matter what. A consensual family dynamic means that it is high in both conversion and conformity orientation, which is further explained in chapter 7, communication and relationships. And an article I came across called 20 Tips on How to Communicate with Your Children Effectively by Michael Oliver. Michael lists 3 different ways that parents can actually communicate with their kids. We have aggressively, which it just is just as it sounds, passively, which is completely opposite of aggressive. And then there is assertively, which is actually the most effective. And that's where you're stern, you're open, but you still kind of do what you're going to do. So Michael goes on to touch on the 20 tips and mentions things like saying the child's name, which will get their attention, check for understanding, give them alternatives, be considerate, show acceptance, do not interrupt. That's very important. They need to feel important and know that they are being heard. Using good manners so that they can copy that or replay that later on in their life, knowing that that's the behavior to do. And then positive language is always very, very important when speaking with them. If you want to get through, positivity is the way to go. Making eye contact is one that I find particularly important. Getting down to their level, even if it's just sitting face to face or next to each other, helps keep them engaged. And it also helps your message to be delivered more clear and concise. And it shows you are listening and that you care. Using I statements is another tip that Michael discusses. I statements help people from getting defensive because you automatically put up that wall, and it elicits a better response from the other ones. It opens up their mind to listen more. It shows you are taking responsibility for your own feelings if you use the I ones. Keeping instructions simple can help ensure that the message gets across and implemented and allows better ability to focus on the task at hand. This will also lead to less nagging. Michael mentioned nagging in the article as well. And nagging is an area that I am actively trying to get better at. I am a nagger. I will admit that. I don't really start out that way. I ask a few times, but then if something, then I'm like, on you because I shouldn't have to ask you that much. And then I do get upset, but I am trying to not nag as much. Open-ended questions are important and it's encouraged and it allows them to think for themselves. Being gentle but firm. They've got to know, kids really need that structure. It's important. Volume and tone is very important to be mindful of. That can say a whole lot with saying very little. I can come off aggressive. My patience needs some work. I'm naturally louder and I get excitable very easily. And it's usually when things that mean something to me. But that is something else I do need to kind of work on. And I'm aware of that. And I am putting that in trying to put that into steps to address. But the tips that I love the most was to prioritize having engaging conversations with your children. Let them know that they're important and that you care and that you're there for them. I, especially while in school, make it a point to have scheduled time with my youngest. We call it you and me time. So he'll be like, hey, mom, when we're going to have me and you time. We do things like watch TV or we draw or we play games or we go out to eat, but just something that he knows that I'm busy and I still am trying to get get that time with him to let him know that he is important to me. Um, so it's important to see your child and to hear your child and to take time to be present from time to time. I need to practice what I'm preaching there. I have a hard time being present. Before I go, I just wanted to say that the website that the article was from with Michael Oliver was called Stuff the Number Four Tots. Um, and it offers a bunch of written material that, which I thought was really cool, actually comes from moms, dads, and medical and parenting experts. So it actually is a good source if you want to kind of see if you're the only one going through it or if it's relatable with other people and etc. So I thank you all for watching and take care.